What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Barcelona news roundup. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another news roundup, guys. And before we go, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and the like, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, guys, this week's the the um the news roundup is going to focus more on transfers and transfers coming in and everything else coming up with that. But basically, guys, I'm doing this show basically more on basically the contract situations at Barcelona, because we do really need to talk about it. I haven't really gone into detail about it, and I would like to talk about basically 5 deals right now which are basically been heating up for the past week. Big up to everybody that's here. Big up to you, Thierry. Give me a second. Yeah, big up to you, Thierry, every single time, bro. But yeah, basically right now there's a lot of process going on with the contract situations at the club, and as you guys know, Barcelona right now having a lot of issues coming into the January transfer window with players unregistered. What could do basically to us. We talked about Dani Olmo, the Paul Victor situation. I will be talking more about that, but this time around I just want to talk about more on the transfers, basically, as far as contracts is concerned. And the first one I want to start with is the Lamine Yamal contract situation. Now, Lamine Yamal's contract is not running out. Don't worry, guys. It's not running out. But basically, there's a lot of talk right now as far as he's concerned, and basically his agent is concerned, Jorge Mendes. Basically, Yamal wants to basically, I guess, commit his future at the club, and he's trying to get basically the club to give him a new contract, and we'll basically see how that whole situation works. Excuse me, just trying to pull this up. Give me a second. Apologies, guys. Give me a second. I'll be right back. So long, man. Just sorry about that, guys. So I had to just deal with something outside of my basically vicinity. But basically, guys, yeah, as far as the contract situations are concerned, I just wanted to talk about the first one, which is obviously the Yamal situation. Now, the reason I'm bringing up the Yamal situation is, like I said, his contract is not running out. But basically, right now, we know that his agent has actually been talking. Jorge Mendes has actually been talking to the club and basically trying to finalize that. And basically, the club are very, very positive about it. They're not really worried. But as far as Jorge Mendes is concerned, he's trying to really put a lot of emphasis on it. And but listen, at the end of the day, as far as that whole situation is concerned, I'm not really worried too much about that, because, like I said, Yamal's contract is not running out. He's still, I think, it's got like 2 more years left in his deal. So we'll definitely see what happens, how that whole situation continues. But as far as the other situations, as far as the other contracts is concerned, those are the ones that really come into concern when you really talk about this whole situation with Barcelona and the contracts. So the Yamal situation, I'm not worried about that, right? I would like us to basically commit him to a long-term contract, because he's basically said this is the club of his life. He wants to stay here. This is where he wants to basically spend the rest of his career. And I completely hear that. You understand what I'm saying? So I hope that the club does the right thing and actually gives him what he wants. But listen, at the end of the day, that the Yamal situation shouldn't really take us too long. Give me a second. Let me see if I can actually pull this up. I'm trying to basically show it here. I don't know if I can show it on the app. Unfortunately, this is a new streaming service, so I'm still getting used to it. Basically, Jorge Mendes is demanding a new contract proposal that represents Yamal as one of the best players in the world. Basically, I guess he wants basically his client to, get basically he wants to feel like maybe the club prioritize him. And listen, at the end of the day, that goes without saying. That goes without saying. But basically, it says that in Yamal's last contract, Jorge Mendes already accepted a lower offer considering Barcelona's struggles. But now the manager demands a compensating agreement. So basically, from what I'm hearing from this, it seems that it's very likely that Jorge Mendes is basically trying to demand that the club basically offer Yamal a better contract, and basically because of the situation before with the financial situation, it was more understandable. But listen, at the end of the day, I feel like that's just paper talk. I don't really see this whole situation with Yamal and the club being a big problem. But as far as other things are concerned, those things shouldn't really bother us, right? But other deals that should be bothering us, and big up to Mohammed here, big up to you every single time, big up to you Thierry, talking about selling Ansu Fati and De Jong as a top priority. You know what, let's actually get into that right away, because I do want to, like I said, I'm going to be talking about all the contract situations. Let's talk about one where right now we don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, which is the Frenkie de Jong situation. Now, I've already talked about the Frenkie de Jong situation, right? I've already said my opinion on that situation, but now I feel like I want to go into more of an in-depth, as far as that whole situation is concerned. So, first of all, we know that the club offered Frenkie de Jong a new contract during over a year. Frenkie de Jong has had the contract with him. He hasn't responded to it. He hasn't told the club he needs time. He hasn't told the club that he's going to sign or he's not going to sign. And basically, as a result of that, we know that about a few weeks ago, the club basically pulled out of the contract. And now we've gotten to a point now where it seems that Frenkie de Jong has one foot outside the door more likely than he does inside. And unfortunately, that's unfortunate for us, but I've already stated my opinion on that whole situation. Frenkie de Jong needs to make up his mind on what he wants. You understand what I'm saying, right? At the end of the day, the club are going to do what the club has to do. We cannot sit here and basically wait for you to basically make your mind on what you plan on doing. You understand what I'm saying? The club has to move forward. And as far as Frenkie is concerned, I feel like he's the way he's been very tight-lipped with this whole situation is now really helping him, and it's now helping the club. So I think that we definitely need to work on that, and he needs to work on it definitely. But as far as his contract situation is concerned, we've actually heard recently has come out that apparently the club will give De Jong an opportunity. I think they might offer him another deal. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the same deal that he's been offered already. But from what I'm hearing, it seems that they are going to offer him a new contract, and they're going to give him an opportunity to sign the contract. And the contract this time around has a deadline, which is, I think, on June 30th. And he basically has until June 30th to either sign the contract or tell the club that he is not signing. And then the club will basically make the decision, because basically the club have made it very clear that if he doesn't sign, he's getting sold in the summer. There is no if, buts, or maybes. Like you've already seen, I've already talked about the fact that the club are willing to basically lowball as far as pricing is concerned. They want to just get some money out of the De Jong situation. So we've been hearing that apparently the club might be willing to sell him for 25, 30 million, 40 million. Like they are at the point now where they've already, I feel like the club have gotten to a point of acceptance of knowing that now they feel like De Jong is not gonna be. He clearly has his mind, in two places. On one moment he wants to stay, but a part of it he wants to go. So at the end of the day, the club just has to make their own choice. That's really it. At the end of the day, the club has to think about the club, and the club have basically made it very clear to Frenkie de Jong he needs to sign a contract now or he's leaving. It is what it is. Thierry basically says his wages are too high for his performance. Needs to get as much. His wages are too high for his performance. Needs to get as much money so he doesn't live on a free. Exactly, bro. You literally nailed it right in the head. That's exactly what I mean, right? That's the club now at this point are looking out for the club. It's that simple. The club now are looking out for the club. This is no longer about what is best for Frenkie. Because listen, we've given opportunities to Frenkie. At the end of the day, we have. Like, People can say whatever they want to say. The club have given an opportunity to commit his future at the club. He clearly doesn't see himself. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he feels like, there's better. There's better opportunities elsewhere. If that's the case, then at the end of the day, bro, the club has to think about itself. So it is what it is. Big up to you, Barca React, bro. Big up to you every single time, bro. But this is my point. At the end of the day, the club has to think about the club, and I'm not. I have nothing against it. Big up, yeah. Make sure you guys like the stream, man. Big up every single time. But listen, you get my point. At the end of the day, the club has to think about the club. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to go too much detail about the De Jong situation because, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time on this whole De Jong talk. It's jarring. It gets under my skin. I've just gotten to a point now where I'm like, listen, at the end of the day, De Jong has to make a choice, and the club have to make a choice. So the club is always going to think about the club. Now, De Jong's situation, he has to think about himself. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, nobody's forcing you to stay at the club. You understand what I'm saying? If you feel like you don't see your future at the club, then you can go. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's no hard feelings. It is what it is. But listen, as far as that whole situation is concerned, that's what I think of it. Now, this is actually a situation that has recently come out as well. And this is the other contract situation that I want to talk about, which is the Ronald Araujo situation. Now, if you guys also don't realize, Ronald Araujo's contract is running out in 2026, just like De Jong's contract. And he is yet to sign a deal just yet. I think basically, I remember in the summer, I think the club might have been talking to his agent, or I don't know the whole situation. I know they were basically in a car. They were talking basically. And we've seen that, and basically ever since Araujo's injury, things kind of like died down. There was no longer like a lot of talk. The talk kind of died down after Araujo's injury. But now that Araujo's returned, people are beginning to talk about it again. And apparently, from what is coming out of the club, it seems that the club now are basically doing the same thing that they're doing with De Jong now, where they're getting to a point now where they're going to demand Araujo to basically make a decision. Right? Is he going to commit his future at the club and sign a new deal, or is he not? And at the end of the day, the club is going to make that decision. Whether if he doesn't sign, he then has to go at the end of the season. They will have to sell him, or he will end up having to, or he will sign a contract and stay. And I feel like maybe the reason why the club is kind of like in this situation now is because if you think about it, think about the situation with De Jong right now. And we've also, let's not forget, we know that the club have been basically in advanced talks with Jonathan Tah, right? And he's actually come out, and basically all the talk coming out is that apparently we've agreed the deal and the deal is almost finalized. Now, if that is true, I can see why maybe the club might be looking at it and saying, okay, well, we're signing a new center back in the summer. But you're seeing you're seeing the situation with Christensen being linked outside of the club right now, which really, when you think about it now, really doesn't make any sense, because at the end of the day, selling both a Christensen and Araujo is an absolute, bro, if that happens, it's absolutely ridiculous. We should not be thinking bro, that Barcelona should not even be considering that. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I expect the club to do what is right. Right? At the end of the day, if they're going to sell Christensen, we must keep Araujo. And the thing with Araujo is, the difference between Araujo and De Jong is, Araujo is actually someone that is important to our team. Let us not play around with it. Araujo is integral to this Barcelona team. We need him to come back. You're seeing basically how we've been the past few weeks defensively. Literally, this is Araujo's return couldn't have literally come at a better time. So this whole talk about this whole contract situation, I just feel like with Araujo returning back from injury, this is not what you really want to put on him. I get it. The club want to basically tie him down, basically keep him at the club and all that. I completely understand all of that. But the guy just returned from injury. Give him some time. Let him get back to full fitness. Let him come back to basically playing his game, maybe enjoying his game again. And then let's bring the contract talk later in the future. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I basically look at that. But listen, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens with that whole situation. But I seriously hope to God that the club makes the right choice. Do not, I repeat, do not mess this up for us, man. This is very, very, very important. But listen, that is basically the whole Araujo situation. That's really what I think of it and what is coming out of the club. Now, that, like I said, it's not only that, there's a lot of contract talks coming out of the club. The next one I would like to talk about, and this is actually in a more positive light rather than the last two. Let's start with the Pedri situation. Now, Pedri is another one where I think the club have basically been in advanced talks with Pedri, because I've heard that basically the club and basically his agent has been talking to the club, and apparently the talks are very positive, and it seems very likely that we could be seeing Pedri basically resigning a new deal very, very soon, and basically tying him down long term at the club. Now, if that is the case, that is some amazing news coming out of the club, because we definitely need that, man. I'm gonna be very, very, very honest. I hope to God that we do what needs to be done and actually keep these players, because at the end of the day, Pedri, whether we like it or not, he is integral to this Barca team. His importance to this team should not, and I repeat, should not be underestimated, right? So the fact that we are in advanced talks with him, that is definitely good news coming out of the club. And listen, I hope that at the end of the day, there's no hiccups or anything. And listen, at the end of the day, I don't expect anything big coming out of this, to be perfectly honest with you. But another one I would like to basically get into is the Gavi situation, which is very, very similar as well, right? Now, we know that when it comes to Gavi, he's another one who I think the club are basically trying to offer him a new deal as well, right? And I think that one is also very likely to move very, very fast as well. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm just hoping that we don't mess this up, because at the end of the day, just like the Pedri situation, I think the Gavi situation will move. But big up to let's get some of the people in here. Big up to you, man.
Hey, what's good, bro?
Hey, man, listen, man. I did talk about obviously you've heard my opinions on the De Jong situation, the Araujo situation, Yamal situation, and basically the Pedri and Gavi situation. Now, let's start with the Yamal one. Now, apparently, the club have been talking to Yamal's agent, Jorge Mendes, and basically, Jorge Mendes is basically demanding that the club basically. Let me actually see if I can pull up. I'm going to pull up the actual quote. Give me a second. I want to make sure we get this right. But yeah, basically, Araujo, yeah, there you go. Jorge Mendes basically, here it is. He demands that the club basically give him a new contract to basically make him one of the best players in the world. I don't know what he means by this, but makes absolutely no sense. But listen, it is what it is. Give me a second. Let me actually share this. Share the screen. All right, there it is. Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see Jorge Mendes demands a contract renewal proposal that represents Lamine Yamal as one of yeah, okay. Yeah, I see it.
No, okay,
Sport.
so what? So what do you think of basically the fact that, because listen, at the end of the day, this is the reason a lot of this has been coming out is because you're seeing this. Apparently, in Lamine Yamal's last contract, right, Jorge Mendes already accepted a lower offer considering basically our financial situation, right? And basically, the club agent now is demanding a compensating fee, I guess, for the agreement. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we know Jorge Mendes is one of like the big,
Yeah,
him and the
one
late
of the
Raiola. We know who Jorge Mendes is. You know understand what I'm saying? He's one of the best agents in the world. He's always trying to get the best basically out of his basically his players. So what do you think of this whole situation, honestly?
I think, to be honest, Yamal, I'm pretty confident he's going to stay at Barca. I know he's going to sign the contract, but like, what do you think? You think he's just going to ask for more money? Because honestly,
I don't think it's him. Look. This is a point. This is where I pulled this up, because Yamal's made it very clear to the club. This is the club of his life, and this is where he wants to stay. And I think at the end of the day, he understands. He understands that this is. At the end of the day, I feel like he understands that he's the golden child in this club. You understand what I'm saying? He is the face of Barcelona. He's the guy that is basically going, like everything that is going as far as the club is concerned, right? It's on him. Like players like Lewandowski, players like what's his name? What's his name again?
Rafinha,
Rafinha.
yeah,
All of these guys are all great, but Lamine Yamal is the jewel. Lamine Yamal is the jewel in the crown of Barcelona, and I think he understands that. So he's not really worried. So at the end of the day, I think this is more to do with like his agent. That's who they're looking at.
can't wait to see Barca lose again. This
Yeah, man.
guy,
Listen, this Nielsen man, he's my biggest hater in YouTube, man. Don't listen to him. But what do you think?
bro. To be honest, I think Mendes, bro, he's trying to get a cut, bro. All these agents, they do this, especially the super agents. They're kind of annoying to deal with, but that's their job in a way to get the best possible deal for themselves and also the players. So, especially the better the player, guys like Barca. There's always rumors Laporta has the links with Holland. If we go after him, it's the same thing is going to happen. The agent's going to play a part. So I'm not too worried as long as the number one thing is the player. He wants to stay. That's the main thing.
Okay. Now I completely understand that. Big up to you, NJ Flip, bro. Big up to you every single time, bro. So, what do you think? Basically, the stuff that's been coming out of the club recently with like the Yamal situation. Apparently, Yamal has made it clear he wants to stay at the club, and apparently, George Mendes, his agent, is talking to the club and making a lot of demands. What do you think of like the situation with Yamal as far as like his contract situation?
I mean, for him right now, he's too young to like to demand too much money for
I
now.
don't think it's him. But that's the thing.
I, I mean,
Okay,
look
okay,
what.
okay. I'll let you speak first before
Yeah, I mean, the agents is demanding too much. Like he's making your mouth like ask for more. Like, bro, he's only 18 right now, right? So, I mean, ask for a good amount of money for sure, but don't ask way too much yet because yeah, sure, like he won trophies and some individual trophies, yeah, sure, but he hasn't really proven everything fully yet, right? But he's on the verge of going to that path. But for now, Mendes needs to chill, bro. Like he will get paid really good money in the future, but not right now, bro. It's too much, E- especially like where we at right now, from a financial situation right now. You know,
Mm. No, I completely hear that. I completely hear
Yeah,
that. Okay, what do you think? Oh, go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna say something because I didn't join the stream earlier. My bad, because
No, you're good. You're good.
my
You're good,
house
man.
things happening. But basically, what's it called? I want to go back to school with the De Jong situation and how
Oh
you
yeah,
said
we'll definitely get into that because I'm
uh,
gonna ask you guys about everything I've talked about. The reason I'm starting with the Yamal ones because that's the one we're talking about now. As far as the Yamal situation is concerned, right? I don't think like listen, at the end of the day, I don't know about you guys. I'm not really too worried because I think that at the end of the day, the agent can't really force the player to do what he doesn't want to do. He's gonna only think about what is best for the player. Basically, what Jorge Mendes is gonna do what Yamal wants. So if Yamal wants to stay, he's gonna try to get Yamal the best deal he can get at Barcelona,
yeah, for sure.
which is completely understandable, right? So
Mhm.
this whole thing about Yamal this and Jorge Mendes. At the end of the day, I don't think Jorge Mendes is not gonna make Yamal do something he doesn't want to do. You understand what I'm saying, right? But I think he's gonna get what is best for him. And listen, at the end of the day, football is a short sport, so I don't really have a problem when players ask for contracts. And at the end of the day, Yamal's importance to this team, and I feel like maybe that is what this whole situation with like the Yamal situation with Jorge Mendes is coming out from is that he believes that Yamal now, especially now, I know he's young. I get what you mean, Flip, but Yamal now has become indispensable in this Barca team. You
he's the
Yeah,
understand what I'm
for
best
saying?
sure.
player.
He's
He's the
the
best player.
jewel. Exactly. You see when he's like, bro, he's injured right now. We're playing Atletico tomorrow. He's gonna be huge not having him in
Yeah,
the squad. You
You
understand
know
what I'm
what?
saying, right? Mm.
yeah,
You know why Yamal's the best player though? Because he can create something out of nothing. As much as I like Rafinha, Rafinha is more of a direct winger. But if there's no
yeah, like a
chances,
counter
Rafinha is
attacking.
not gonna. He's not gonna beat a player and just put in a dime. He can maybe, but
Yeah, he
Yamal's
can.
just
Yeah,
he's the guy, bro. He's the gem. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Any situation, Yamal can cook. It doesn't really matter the
yeah.
game. Low block, high line. That he's that guy. He's legit. You could tell.
Mm.
Yeah, like for me, like I don't mind him getting paid money for sure because he deserves it. But again, like some players who gets a lot of money, they lose focus, right? And we don't want that for our youth, for our main player to lose his focus. Just like how Neymar was, because he has so much for money. But again, look what happened to him. He lost focus.
I think maybe the agent, he's probably, honestly, I can see Mendes maybe telling Yamal, hey man, this team, they're struggling, especially without you. So you could ask for whatever you want.
Exactly, and, and
Yeah,
and and that's the
yeah, he
thing,
did that
isn't it?
also. Yeah,
See, that's the thing, isn't it? Look,
But I
at the
don't
end
I
of the
don't
day, I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest, right? Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like Yamal, the kind of kid that he is, he's got his head down. He's got a lot of good people around him. I think his
mhm,
family and all these people. You understand what I'm saying, right? He has a lot of
yeah,
good people around him, and I think that at the end of the day, he's not like a lot of footballers, right? I think he sees himself as the jewel in the squad, and at the end of the day, right? I think that this whole contract thing will actually get solved very quickly, right? I feel like at the end of the day, media always going to be media because this is Yamal and this is his contract situation. So you're always gonna have people that are just gonna be like, "Oh, Yamal, Mendes is demanding this," because basically they just want to unsettle the thing. You don't want to hear, "Oh, Yamal is gonna sign a contract." All right, cool, smooth and sailing. You know what I understand what I'm saying? That doesn't sell. That doesn't sell. Basically newspapers, right? What they want to hear is, yeah, this is what Yamal is demanding, or this is what Jorge Mendes is demanding, or
yeah.
this is what he's demanding. So basically, to unsettle the situation and be like, oh, wait a minute, is this what's going on with the contract? You understand what I'm saying? That's how I'm kind of looking at this, basically. What do you guys think before we do move on?
Yeah, totally agree. What you said.
I think you're muted, bro. You're muted.
my bad. But I think, to be honest, it's probably just Mendes telling Yamal, bro, ask for how much you want. We can ask for a ridiculous amount because the team, you're crucial to the team's success. So that's honestly what I think about it. But if Laporta tells Lamine Yamal, like, hey, we can't do this. We want to bring other guys to help us win. I think he'll understand. I don't think he's at the age where he has the ego. Like if he was 23, maybe it's a different situation, but he's
Yeah,
17, so I think it's a
Yeah.
completely different
yeah,
thing.
he's still young. Yeah, he's still.
And and you know what? Big up to Thierry. Just to bring back the point, he says, "I trust Yamal to do what's right for the club. He's a good kid." And you know what it is? I actually agree a lot with what you just said, bro. At the end of the day, see, this is my thing, right? Yamal, I feel he understands. Yo, I can get, like, if the club does well, I can literally demand for whatever I want, especially in the future if I become the golden child of this Barca team. Because if I become the golden child, the club are gonna have to give me what I want. You understand what I'm saying, right? So I think with him, he can just put his head down and say, "Listen, at the end of the day, the club is not in a good place, right?
Yeah,
I am the golden child in this team, right? We are building something good here with the new manager. We have a lot of good players, right? If we sign a lot of new players and then we start competing for the league, for the Champions League, and we basically get back to being the best in Europe, by then I would be I'll basically be the king of the squad. I would literally be the Jew like Messi. Like if you think about someone like Messi, right? Messi wasn't just the king when he arrived, right? He had to be the prince. He had to be the child, learning from
yeah,
Ronaldinho, from Eto'o, from all these guys. But you see, when it was time for him to be the guy, right? He could ask for anything because he understood, yo, I'm the guy now. You got to give me what I want, or I can just walk out. And they were never gonna let Messi walk out on his own. You understand what I'm saying, right? Because he made himself indispensable, and that's what Yamal could do, right? So this whole situation, I don't really see it we're having much legs, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I think maybe if Mendes asks for more money, I think honestly they're gonna give it to him, but it's not gonna be crazy amount. Maybe 20, 30, 40K more, but I don't think they're gonna offer him 100K more. Like, I really
nah,
doubt that.
it's too early. Yeah,
Oh yeah. To be fair,
Because
I would say this though. I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, I might have one of my streams. I actually pulled out, I think, the wages, and I think he's on a very very low amount. To
yeah,
be fair, I think he's like what 60K or something like that.
yeah, bro. Like he just got off the academy contract, so like he's
Exactly.
probably he's
So
probably happy with what he's getting right now. To be honest,
I feel like maybe
yeah,
that's why maybe Jorge Mendes maybe is demanding. Okay, well, listen, it's not wrong. I mean, listen, I'm not saying me. I think that for him, what Jorge Mendes is saying is, if with the way Yamal is playing, it's not a bad thing for us to be demanding him for him to be getting 100K for what he's doing. You understand what I'm saying, right? But yeah, listen, I don't want to spend too much time on this. Let's go straight to segue, and because this is the one I feel like a lot of people want to talk about. Will you sell the Frankie De Jong? Now, before we actually talk about the De Jong thing, what do you? What's your answer to this, guys? What do you guys think?
So me,
Yeah,
I
you.
mean, listen, Frankie De Jong is a great player. I think that the reality is this, everything comes to an end, and I think De Jong, I think it's time to go, bro. I think for him too. I think guys like Casado, he's not guaranteed to start anymore. It's crazy because 2 years ago he was our best midfielder. When we won the league title, him and Busquets were amazing, and I wouldn't believe this, but now I can't lie. I think Frankie De Jong has got to go, and I would sell him. 1 year on his contract. I think we might have to. I think we're in a bad situation. We can't really ask for the world. Frankie De Jong only has 1 year on his contract. I don't know how much we're gonna get for him, but I would be happy with 40 million now. 1 year, you can't really demand much. That's the reality. You
I hear it.
know,
Flip, what
and
do you
I
think, bro?
think the
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
injuries, the injuries that he's having, he's becoming. It looks like he's becoming a little bit more injury prone. And just from the eye test, from watching him this season, it feels like Frankie De Jong's a little bit scared to put tackles in. That's just me. That's just me. What I'm seeing. I don't know. The eye test is telling me that he's not 100% recovered from his ankle injuries, and he didn't. I don't think he took the surgery.
No,
So
he didn't. He didn't take the surgery.
so yeah, I don't think bro. Like if anybody played, people who opt out of surgeries, these things, it's not full recoveries. It takes time to 100% recover, and I don't think he's even fully fit, in my opinion. And I think Barca, they just need to cut their losses, and hopefully he goes to a different place. If he succeeds, bro. I'm not hating on the guy, but I just think his time at Barca's done, man. For me.
Flip, Flip, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, to be honest, we all agree that that Frankie De Jong is a really good player.
Yeah,
His play his style of play is so unique for us. But the thing is, back then, we needed that kind of player back then. But now that since we're in a new Barca's place, then his profile does not fit. Moving forward, no. Like it's sad to say, like his time with Barca is like it's like most likely down because of the team that we built around him. But
mm.
I felt like yeah, it's time for him to like move on. Like it sucks that he only won 3 trophies with us. I'm like so disappointing, but especially for Barca. But
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
it's time for him to play for like a club like Bayern Munich or Inter Milan to like gain more trophies. Because again, he's 27 now. He needs to start
Yeah.
winning
He's in
trophies
the
now at
prime
this
of his
point.
career,
Yeah, he needs to start
basically.
winning trophies now, man. Like yeah, he won 3 trophies with us, but maybe four, maybe. But again, just come on, bro. Like what, for 6 years, only four? Come on now, bro. That's like so it's so shady,
to
bro.
be,
Like it's time for him
bro.
to move
So,
on.
so here's the thing. When it comes to the De Jong situation, you guys remember, because you guys watch my channel. I went into full depth about the whole situation, about the club offering him a deal since last year. He basically had it for a year, did not respond, did not tell the club he was signing a new deal, did not tell the club he wasn't signing a new deal, and basically because he had been quiet for so long, the club then decided, you know what it is, yeah. At the end of the day, we have to do what we have to do, and you got to get out of here. Or they pulled out of the deal. They're like, all right, cool. Listen, you clearly you haven't made up your mind, so we have to make up our mind, your mind for you. You understand what I'm saying, right? And
Yeah,
I've gotten now to a point where I've said, for me, I'm tired of the whole De Jong saga. The saga is ridiculous, bro. Every season, we always have to hear De Jong and Barcelona contract. Is he leaving? He's not leaving. It's like, bro, either he's staying, sign the contract and stay, or you're not signing the contract and leave. Bro, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, this is Barca Football Club, not Frankie De Jong Football Club, bro. You understand what I'm saying, right? We can't be sitting here, nah, because at the end of the day, I had enough. I was like, yo, this is like, bro, I feel like I've aged over 20 years just listening to this nonsense, man. End this. Either he wants to stay or he wants to go, or the club don't want him here, or the one player club want him to be sold. And the fact that the club offered him a new deal for me tells me, okay, clearly they want him to stay. Because if they didn't want him to stay, they wouldn't have offered him the contract. They would have probably said, listen, man, on a real, we don't think we can afford to pay your wages anymore, or we don't think that you have a future at this club, or any of that, right? But the fact that the club offered him a deal, and apparently they offered him a good deal. It's not like, they completely reduced his wages by 50% or any of those stuff. Nah, They actually gave him a good deal, and the fact is, he did not respond. And at the end of the day, the club said, "Okay, well, clearly you don't. Clearly, we've been waiting for you, but we can't wait for too long. When we have like people like Araujo who need to send, who we need to talk to. We need to talk to guys like Pedri, like Gavi, like Yamal. All of these guys also need to sign new deals. We can't be sitting here waiting for you to be basically making a decision, right? And now the thing that's come out of the club now is apparently the club will give Yamal, De Jong a second chance to sign a new deal. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
They'll give him a second chance to sign a new deal until June 30th. I think they're going to offer him a new deal soon, where he has until the end of the season, which is June 30th, to sign the contract. And if he doesn't, he's getting transfer listed. You understand what I'm saying, right? And you just said it, Basa Riak. You said it yourself. The club have basically put under their price tag on it. They're saying, listen, we will sell him for 30 million. You understand what I'm saying, right? But yeah, hold on. Let me quickly say off topic, but strange how we haven't talked about Mark Bernal. Listen, I'll finish with this later, guys. Give me a second, but let me just finish the point with De Jong, right? Basically, I think the club they want to give De Jong the best opportunity they can. They want to see where his head is at. Just make a decision, right? Either you want to stay or you want to go. You understand what I'm saying, right? So they're gonna be, all right, here's a contract. You don't want to sign. Tell us you don't want to sign. We will then sell you in this one because we are not letting you go for free. We invested a lot of money on you. You understand what I'm saying, right? So at the end of the day, the club need to think about the club, and the club are gonna sell him. So yeah, that's really what I think. What do you guys think of that? The fact that the club, that's what they're
Bro,
saying.
to be honest, what Frankie de Jong's doing to us, like this contract situation where he's not even replying, he's not even saying yes or no, it's kind of annoying. And it's the same thing with me. You know, Omar said it, like, just give us an answer. If it's no, cool. We're going to cut our losses. You know, you can go to a different club and succeed, whatever. We can take the money. But he's not responding, and that's probably worse. So we don't know what's happening with him. We don't know if he wants to stay or if he wants to go. And with the contract watering down, I just think, like, he's got to go. But also, it's the reason why it's annoying. It's like, you know, it's like a guy who's leaving you on scene, you know, on Instagram, bro. It never responds, bro. That's what Frankie de Jong is doing to us.
Nah,
Legit.
exactly. That is literally it.
So I'm not trying to see that anymore. You know, like, you know, if he doesn't answer soon, just, you know, fair enough. You know, he's on the biggest contract. Him and Lewandowski, they have the biggest contracts at our club. So then, I rather, if he can go, you know, I'll give Araujo more money, or I'll give Pedri a little bit more money. Why do I, you know, or give Casado? He's probably on a very small contract. You know,
Yeah.
so I'm tired of this situation too. It's kind of annoying. This was the hot topic 2 years ago, you know, when, you know, he was supposed to go to Man United. This is not the time where I'm trying to keep talking about Frankie de Jong. Like, it's over for me.
Flip. What about you, Flip?
So for me, is that, you know, I feel like he's going, like, day by day to see, where he feels like, at the situation right now. So it's good that, he was given until June and end of the season to, like, decide. Because again, if he signed a contract right now, you know, we don't know how he's gonna play in the next coming months, right? So I prefer it to be like he has until end of the season to, like, decide, because
Mm.
you don't know how he feels, right? So you're not sure if he's going to be playing for us or no, play for another club, this and that. So for me, it's okay. But again, it's very annoying, to be honest. But it is
Nah,
what it
it's
is.
straight up. Yeah, it's straight up annoying. I can tell you that for sure. And
Yeah,
if
but
I'm
it is
gonna,
what it is.
no, see, here's the thing. I see where basically the direction that the club is going. Where
Yeah,
I feel like what the problem is, Flip. I think the club right now are looking at it and saying, we wanna move on from this in the summer. We don't wanna wait until the end of at the end of the season to start talking
yes,
to De
yes.
Jong and then literally have to make it a saga for the whole of the transfer window. You understand what I'm saying, right? Just like
Yeah,
basically the whole Nico Williams situation taking so long to get that whole thing done, and by the time we were over, we only made one signing when we needed like 3-4 signings before the end of before that, right? Now,
mhm.
I feel like maybe because we know from what we've been hearing, apparently the club are really ready to sell some players in the summer. You understand what I'm saying, right? There's a lot
Yeah,
of players that they're planning on trying to get rid of. So I feel like that is why the whole De Jong situation. We talk about the Araujo one, but basically the De Jong situation, right? De Jong right? His contract is running out. He clearly no one knows what his plan is. They're now looking at it and saying, at the end of the day, we are trying to fire sale, and you are either going to be part of this team or you're going to be part of that fire sale.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying, right? So right
Yeah.
now, I feel like that's why they're offering him the deal now, because
Yeah.
if he doesn't sign it, then they can say, listen, we don't care. Even if you change your mind during the summer, we gave you a chance to sign a new deal and you didn't sign it. So you're out of here. But very quickly before we move on,
Yeah.
big up to Thierry. He says, this Frankie situation is wasting our time because we could be working on new signings instead of focusing on him.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
But
all.
again,
That's what. Go ahead.
I feel like by March or April, that's when he will like actually say, if he wants to stay with us or not.
Okay. Well,
And
listen. At the end of the day, the contract will still be there in April.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. But then I expect I expect him to like, tell us, by March or April, like what his plan is or after that, you know. But for now, we don't know what's the plan.
And to be honest, I think we gotta move on too. Like probably like
Yeah.
Ronald Araujo. He apparently is positive. He's trying to resign, and he is important to the team because
Oh yeah. I mean,
he
let's
is.
let's quickly segue into that because I've
Yeah,
already
Yeah.
said, because apparently listen, I feel like maybe the way people are explaining it is kind of making it seem like, oh, the club are doing this to the Araujo. No, basically, Araujo and De Jong situation is similar in the way the contracts are currently looking. Right, both of their contracts run out in 2026. All right, and with the De Jong situation, where basically he's been kept on red. The thing with the Araujo situation was last season, before basically the whole PSG debacle, it seemed like the thing was just running smoothly, right? He was gonna sign a
Yeah.
new deal, and then all of a sudden it's smooth sailing. But after the whole PSG thing, and he was getting criticized, all of a sudden there was like a stall in the whole talk. And during the summer, we said after the Copa America, when he comes back, they'll basically talk about it and we'll see what happens. And then, unfortunately, he got injured during the Copa America. So basically, that's where the whole Araujo talk ended after his injury, right? And I think that he's returning now. People are trying to bring it all whole thing up. I'm at a point now where I'm like, with the difference between for me the De Jong and Araujo situation is two things. Number one, Araujo just returned. He hasn't even played a game since he's come back. You understand what I'm saying, right? Give the guy time to get back to the field. You let him enjoy his game. Let him enjoy playing again. You understand what I'm saying, right? Right?
Mhm.
And then, let's talk to him around the end of the season to basically, see where his mind is at. You understand what I'm saying, right? If he, because at the end of the day, if he enjoys his football at the end of the season, he can just say, all right, cool. Let's sign a new deal. Talk to his agent, like, yeah, we'll get the thing there done. And the second thing, it's two things, like I said, right? That's the first one. The second one, oh shit, I'm on a mind blank. But basically, the whole Araujo situation, I don't see the same way because at the end of the day, Araujo just returned. Just give him some time to get back to fitness and get back to the pitch and play football, right? And basically let that whole thing happen. Because for me, I feel like with the Araujo situation, he's more likely to sign than the De Jong situation. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Araujo. The thing is, I seen a report. I think it was like a week or two ago. It was like Ronald Araujo. It's like optimism. Even the way that we play, like Frenkie de Jong is not as needed as Ronald Araujo in this team. Like Ronald
Yes.
Araujo, the
Yeah.
high line, he's like our only. Even forget the high line. I already know he's got the pace, he's got the physical to disrupt players when coming back. But also, I would say that Ronald Araujo, he's like our only naturally physical center back in duels and stuff. Like we've seen it. Like what was it? Which game was it that we conceded? Did we concede off a corner recently? Right?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Oh, was it?
Was it which game was it?
It was I think it was the last game. We conceded off a corner. It was the
The
first
Leganes game?
No, no,
Leganes.
No,
And
oh,
Ronald
yeah.
Araujo.
No. Was it the Leganes game? It
It was
wasn't Leganes.
Leganes. They scored off a corner. Their
Oh,
own
Yes.
yeah.
goals.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
did. They
like
did. They
this.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did. They
so
did.
I was thinking like I remember like it was a while ago, but Ronald Araujo, I said it in my match reaction that Ronald Araujo, the way that he actually broke into this team was defending set pieces and corners, especially. I remember one game he used to. It was like 2 games in a row where he was defending corners well, and it was him just clearing it. And I was like, we don't even have a physical center back like that who can jump up like that. We don't have that profile at all. Kubarsi, he's aggressive. Inigo is too, but this guy, physicality matters. He's the only one that we have. And if you go to the market, if you buy somebody from the Bundesliga or somewhere else, it's going to cost you real money, like 45 million. Why would you want to do that? Keep your guy, pay him the money. He's way more important than Frenkie de Jong. And I
And
think
and
he's
just
a
to add to
starter
your
too.
point,
He's a starter. It's not like he's a fighting
yeah,
for.
and the point that just to get to you, I feel like maybe the reason why the whole talk with the defenders is concerned is apparently, like we've all heard apparently, the talk that Barcelona have been talking to Jonathan Tah from Leverkusen, and it looks like he is very likely to be our first signing for next season, right, on a free. Now, if we get him on a free, great deal. But for me, I'm in a mindset where I'm like, bro, I will bring that guy in, but I am not losing Araujo for that guy, right? Christensen, I hear it, right? Because as much as I rate Christensen, I don't rate him as highly as I rate Araujo. And the fact that we have players like Kubashi and Jonathan Tah, I can look at the Christensen deal and say, all right, cool. I don't want to lose him, but I can afford to lose him. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm like, all right, cool. You're not exactly so indispensable in the squad, with all due respect. You understand what I'm saying, right? But someone like Araujo, bro, losing Araujo is it's unthinkable. For me, I've always said it for a long time, bro. Barcelona's future center back partnership for me is always going to be Araujo and Kobashi. That should be our center back for 10 years to come, right? And this whole talk about Araujo, this and this. Listen, defenders make mistakes. I don't know why people are acting like this is the first time a top class defender has made a mistake. You understand what I'm saying, right? You should not judge a player based on one situation. Before that, this guy was literally putting 10 out of 10s. Nobody was ever talking about Araujo as a defender, bro. Top defender. Even listen. You know me. I talk to other fan bases, right? I talk to United fans, Arsenal fans, everyone, bro. They rate Araujo very highly. Araujo is considered like, bro. Araujo is
Because
one of
he's
the best
top five. He's top five when he's
Exactly.
healthy.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, him leaving, bro, he walks into any team. If Araujo is available, everybody is going after him. You can that's a sure, especially in these days where top class defenders are relatively short. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's not like a lot of center backs where you can say, this guy's the best in the world, right? You have a lot of center backs who are like good enough, but you don't have that one. And Araujo, when he's fit, is one of the best center backs in the world. I don't care what anyone says, bro. A fit Araujo is up there with the best defenders.
And look at Bayern. Bayern, they put like 2 bids already for him. Like, there's so many. I'm sure Chelsea would. Chelsea would probably go after him. So, and also what you said about that one mistake, that was clearly the turning point because the backlash. It was the backlash that he received when he got the red card against Barcola in the second leg. That was the turning point. All the Barca fans, they blamed him only, and that was probably the worst thing that came out of the defeat. Because it wasn't just his fault why we lost. Because if you remember the second leg, Lewandowski, he did not play good. And not only that, Xavi, why is your head gone? You're down to 10
Exactly, bro. You just said it. That's the same way I felt. Flip. This is literally what I said. Listen, don't get it twisted. I blamed Araujo for his mistake. And let me be clear.
Well, we could have won still.
No. Let me be clear, right? The reason I blame Araujo for his mistake is because I said that wasn't a mistake. That is not something you do at that time in the game. You understand what I'm saying, right? We're leading 1-0. Everything is going well. If they equalize, we're still in front by aggregate. You understand what I'm saying, right? We in 11 against 11 can still be able to win that game. You understand what I'm saying, right? And losing Araujo in that defense is absolutely crucial. That's why I went at him, because I was like, bro, you didn't need to make that tackle, because you getting sent off actually did so much more damage than you think. Because not only did you take us down to 10 men, but you are one of our better players in that game. You are one of the people that I was looking at to say if we have him in the centre back area, we might be likely to defend our way to getting a draw at least and qualifying to the semi-finals. But losing him ended up costing us a lot more than us just going down to 10 men because he was our best centre back.
But that's
And
my
you saw it.
point. He wasn't the only person at fault that game. I already said Lewandowski.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, Lewandowski missed it.
We know
Not
the
just the
buddy.
one in the final, bro. Lewandowski had like 2-3 attacks where forget the shooting opportunities. He should have passed to Ferran or Felix. I remember late on in the game, and then also Xavi.
Yes.
Why is he going crazy? Xavi got a red card too, and it's not acceptable for an institution like Barcelona where your coach just gets mad for that. Especially the game it's like 40 minutes gone. Why are you getting a red card? And I feel like that so many people deserve blame, not just Araujo, but obviously he made the biggest mistake. And then also afterwards, what happened with Gundogan, I feel like maybe that affected him. But Gundogan's not here no more, so hey, sign the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Flip, bro, you haven't really said much, man. I know you've had a lot to want to say. What do you think?
I mean, yeah, like with Araujo, like we know he's a top defender. The only issue is with him is that the way he thinks sometimes when he plays, he doesn't think properly, so that which causes a lot of red cards and fouls, and also his ball playmaking is also questionable. So that's the only problem with him. That's why when he got the red card against PSG, he was an easy target for that because we knew that as a great defender he's also has that Botzo gene in him, right?
Yeah,
Which is
he has the moments,
yeah,
but
but
not
again,
enough of it. But not enough
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like,
but you just know that sometimes when the moment when you just feel like he's gonna make a mistake, like just he'll just do it. You know, he has that in him. But don't get me wrong, he's a great defender for sure. Like yeah, you're right. You said yeah, him and Kobarsi like are a perfect match because again, Kobarsi is the main ball playing defender while he's the stopper of the team, which is it's very rare to find one in today's competition because you need to have not two center backs who are different with one another.
right.
That's why for me, yeah, of course he's an important player for us for sure moving forward. Yeah, it is what it is, but again,
Okay.
he's very important for us no matter what.
But to be honest, I think he overcame it because it looks like the reports seem like he wants to stay here. So I think he's gonna stay too. I
Oh yeah,
think
he will
he's gonna
stay for
stay.
sure. He
Yeah, I
will
think he's
stay.
gonna stay. Ronald Araujo actually, feel very confident since he responded, and he also said like, he's a big part of this plan. I remember a report before Flick. It was in the off season, and Flick
Yeah,
basically said something like, it was a report. We don't know if it's 100% true, but it was like the four reasons why Flick is gonna come to Barcelona. It was like Frenkie de Jong, Araujo, Pedri, and like Gavi,
yeah,
something like that. It was like the four players mainly he wanted
yeah,
to work with. And I'm like, yeah, Araujo, especially in a flick system, it makes sense.
yeah. Yeah, he's so
Mm.
lucky under Flick's system because he suits Flick's playstyle perfectly.
Yeah, and people are forgetting what Araujo is, man. Like, do they not remember when we won La Liga? The last 15 minutes of games used to be so shaky. We used to be hanging on 1-0 FC. We had the record
Yeah.
amount of 1-0 victories. And the
I
reason
know, right?
the record,
Araujo.
Yeah.
and do you know what? It's
No,
because
listen, Araujo, the season we won, I know we talk about De Young's impact, but bro, Araujo's impact should never be underestimated that season when
Oh
we
yeah,
won
yeah,
the
for
league.
sure.
he
He
was the
was one of our.
MVP. Him
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. Big
Castillejo.
up Thierry. Thierry, this is actually a perfect point because this is the thing. You see, when I was criticizing Araujo, many people came at me and said, "Oh, you're flip flopping. What was this guy is one of your best players?" Listen, bro. I'm like, at the end of the day, I never listen. I'm criticizing him because I rate him very highly. The fact that I'm coming at him the way I was had nothing to do with the fact that I'm blaming him for us not losing for us losing the game. I'm saying that him doing what he did impacted our performance, and I'm criticizing him because I rate him very highly. I don't expect something like that from him. I might expect it from certain
Yeah.
players. Certain players I can be like, all right, that is you. I know you. You're capable of doing that. The thing with Araujo is And this is one thing about Araujo, right? Well, we know we talk about he's erratic in situation, but this is the thing with his erraticness. He always has a way of like working it. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It works in his character, in the way he plays the game, right? And that's why for me, when I went at him for that. Where I was like, at the end of the day, you should have been much more wiser. And listen, at the end of the day, I agree with you, Thierry, right? Footballers have very short memories because listen,
Oh yeah.
just because he made one bad mistake doesn't nullify all the great things he's done. Okay, and that's why for me, I've said, listen, man, keep him at all cost. I don't care, man. You know what I mean? Because I fit, bro. That's why I'm saying, listen. I said it even in this stream. I said, listen, Araujo's return couldn't literally come at a better time because right now, bro, we are struggling defensively. We are,
Yeah.
bro, struggling would literally be an understatement the way we are doing right now. You understand what I'm saying?
We're
Right.
suffering.
So at the end of the day, Araujo's arrival could literally did not come at a better time. So I'm expecting. Listen, I'll do my Barcelona preview of the Barcelona game later on. You guys will be seeing it. But bro, I better see Araujo tomorrow on the sideline, bro. I'm not trying to see Kubashi. I'm not trying to see Kubashi and Inigo as my center back partnership or Eric Garcia. Get that brother out of my starting 11. Now I'm done. I'm sick to death, man. Get that guy out of my team. But yeah,
Eric,
man, that's what I think about our whole situation.
Eric used to play good against Leganes, but it was Lewandowski who made a mistake on that one.
Listen,
But I mean, yeah.
don't even get me started on him, bro. I don't even get me started on him, bro. I swear to God. Barcelona have no physicality players in the midfield, and someone like Onana, who would be a green. You know, it's funny. I think there was a point. I think there might have been a point where they were actually linking this guy to my club. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
we were linked
in
with
the
him. Yeah,
summer.
yeah. No,
I do like him, but listen, I don't want to basically sway away from that. I'm actually going to be going. Speaking of midfield, that's where we're going to be segueing next to, because the two other contract talks, which are not really as important because these guys' contracts are not running out anytime soon, but apparently we're actually in contract talks with them. One of them is Pedri. So apparently we are actually apparently we've already started talks with Pedri's agent, and it's been very very positive. And we could be possibly tying him down for a longer deal. What do you guys think of like that news coming out?
I mean, it's not really surprising. He's too important for our future for Barca's future right now. So yeah, it's not really like surprising at all.
Mm.
To be honest, I really doubt that Pedri and Gavi are gonna go anywhere, especially because they're also got the Spanish connection. So it's not like they're
Yeah,
foreigners who are like, I'm gonna go back to my country or something like that, or go to a different country. I think they're gonna stay. Like, I really doubt that these guys it's in any danger, unless if, for example, if Gavi's not playing for 2 years, like he's just on the bench all the time. But I really doubt it. I think these guys they're gonna sign the contract. I don't think it's a big deal.
yeah.
Mm.
The Spanish core. Yeah, they're the
Yeah.
core in the midfield for sure.
I mean, look, the Gavi situation, I kind of look at Gavi. You listen, at the end of the day, when you ask me about the two players, I think the two players are incredible for us. And they are, you got someone like Gavi who's a La Masia graduate. Pedri is not a La Masia, but, he's basically one of us. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
And if we're being real, I'm more happy about the Pedri situation because I feel like Pedri, as much as I love Gavi and as much as I feel like Gavi is important to this team, Pedri's importance is way
oh
more.
yeah, hundred
You
percent.
understand what I'm saying? That should not be understated. Like even right now, on even in our good run, I know people praise Yamal, people have been praising Rafinha, even there were some who've been praising Lewandowski,
Oh
but
my.
people need to talk about Pedri's impact. I feel like Pedri's impact because maybe it's because of how Dani Olmo has been playing in the start of the season. I feel like maybe people are not giving too much respect on
Yeah.
Pedri's performance. Well, Pedri has been doing well in the midfield since his
Yeah.
return. And I was worried about him with injuries, right? But
Hmm.
he's thankfully, thank God, hopefully long may it continue. He's actually stayed out of injury problems. And I feel like Hansi Flick has been very, very good at the way he's been treating him. You understand what I'm saying? Right now, really overworking him, doing all this
Yeah.
stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Like maybe playing him, starting him games, but not playing him full 90 minutes on certain games. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, that's how I think of the Pedri deal. And listen, the fact that we already talked to Pedri, listen, I think that the whole Pedri situation will be solved very quickly.
Oh, for
I'm not
sure.
worried. I'm not worried about that one either. And same thing applies with the Gavi situation.
I don't
If you
mind
look at
Gavi. Gavi for AC Milan. Yo, how much would you sell him for us?
I mean, listen. At the end of the day, I'll be honest with you. Gavi is one of those players who I feel like people love him because he's one of us. He's one of our own.
Yeah,
And this is the thing with Gavi, right? Gavi gives his all. You know what? Because yesterday I was at the football terrace, right? And I was talking to one of the Chelsea fans, and you know what
yeah,
they always say about, oh yeah, players, oh this player gives it his all, right? Oh Gallagher gives it his all, or these players give it his all. Like, listen, he gives it 100% every game. I feel like that is what Pedri does. Sorry, Gavi does. Gavi is a
yeah.
100% giver. He gives 100% every game. He gives his heart and soul, right? But that doesn't mean that he's incredibly talented or
Oh
he's
no,
as
no.
talented as someone like Pedro. And that's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying
Yeah,
he's
that's
not
not yeah.
talented at all. Absolutely talented, right? Listen, if we keep him, I have nothing against it. Because I love Gavi. I feel like
Yeah.
Gavi, he, like I said, he gives it his all. And he's not a
Yeah.
shit player. It's not like, he's a
No,
player
no, no.
that
It's
goes
not
around, stinks out the place. But, he's not just as important as Pedri in my eyes as far as quality is concerned. That's what I really think of it.
Yeah, I would say Gavi. Basically, you said it all, bro. Basically, Gavi, he's a player that 15 minutes away game, maybe Inter Milan, maybe we got a 1-0 lead. You sub him in. He's gonna give it his all. He's gonna play defense. He's a smart
Yeah,
defender too. The how many tackles that he wins, but he's not the superstar that Barcelona fans sometimes portray him as. He's not. He's
No, he's
yeah.
not.
he doesn't
He's
have
not.
like let's keep it real. He doesn't have the vision of Pedri. He doesn't
Oh
have
no.
the he doesn't even have like I would say the passing ability of him either. It's just he's decent. That's it. You know what I'm
You know what he
saying?
has? You know what he has? He has energy. He has the
Yeah.
Yeah.
tank. He has the
I
But
think
this
tank
is what I'm
to
saying.
go. Yeah, that's what he does. That's really it. Like, listen,
This
at
is
the end
what-
of the day, anyone who watches, like, that's the thing. Sometimes I feel like a lot of fans, they're watching, but they're not really seeing. You understand what I'm saying, right?
yeah.
They're just so blinded by their biasness. Oh, he's a La Masia
I
graduate
hate
doing
that,
well at
bro.
the club. Like, even right now, when I look at Barcelona, like right now, you see Kubashi this season, right? Don't get it
Yeah.
twisted. I still rate Kobashi very highly, and I still think he'll be one of the best center backs in the world. But bro, this guy, he's very erratic, bro. People don't talk
Yeah.
about this enough. This brother, he's too. And I kind of listen. There's excuse I give is he's still a youngster. You understand what I'm saying, right? You can tell, he's still a kid. He's obviously, when you're a kid and you're like 17, 18, you're gonna make mistakes. You're still learning in the game, right? I give
Yeah.
him that, right? But he needs to quickly get that out of his game because I still rate him very highly. But dude, people need to understand, bro. People cannot just sit there and just defend everything this brother does because he be making mistakes. Even the Dortmund game, bro, he was poor in the Dortmund game. He gave away a
Yeah.
silly penalty. You
Him
understand
and
what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah.
Inigo, they were not good in the Dortmund game. They were not. And what you were saying about Gavi, bro, real quick? Gavi, I'm gonna keep it real. In my opinion, long term, if he's gonna stay at Barca, I don't know. I kind of see him as a role player. Like people always want to say
Yeah, he is a
superstar,
role player,
but
super sub.
yeah,
He's super.
he's like I'm gonna be honest. He's a solid role player. That's what Gavi is. He gives you something different. He gives you something
Bro.
that Pedri and De Jong and Danny Olmo can't do.
Mhm.
Pressing 100%. I'm up 1-0, especially in the league season that we won when he was that fake left winger. He gives you something else. But Gavi, to be honest, I see him as like that Korean guy that at Man United. I see him
Just on
Oh,
something
par.
like
Jason
yeah,
Park.
I
Listen,
see him like that, like for us, cause
Utility
oh shit.
player. Utility player, basically.
basically, okay, got you.
Bro, I don't mind it. I don't mind him, but if he plays for AC Milan, because we're looking for a midfield like that for a long time as well. You know, as well. I
Hey
don't mind.
man,
I
no,
don't
no,
mind
no,
him.
no. I hear. Listen, at the end of the day, I feel like for the right offer, right, I would be
Yeah,
open to selling them. But I'm not one of these people where I'm like, oh well, Barcelona need to do this. We should not
yeah,
sell him because of basically nepotism and stuff. That's not. That's
Nah,
yeah,
not.
bro.
yeah.
Nah.
Heck, that's not what we. Nah, you can't be doing that because I'm not gonna respectfully, as much as I rate Gavi and I know his level, I'm not gonna say like, yeah, we can't get like, for example, Barella because no, bro, Barella's better than Gavi. If he's coming to Barcelona, Barella's gonna start.
Oh,
Some
Barrel is a game changer, bro.
yeah, he's amazing. He's like Gavi plus
Oh, I'm
technique. You
like,
know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like I'm not gonna make sure Gavi starts just so for other guys can't get into the midfield, bro. It's whoever
yeah.
deserves it, and he can stay if he's a role player. That's okay. You know,
I'm like,
Nah.
you
I
guys
hear.
know this.
he
You
can
know this.
start some
I'm an
games,
AC
no
Milan
problem.
fan. You know this, but I have a respect with Barcelona because it's a history, it's how they play. Like I feel like for Gavi, Yeah, he will be perfect for AC Milan's midfield because we're dead as fuck right now.
Yeah, I completely hear that, man. I completely hear that. But listen, guys, before we do close out, I just want to quickly ask you guys your opinions on tomorrow's game against obviously Atletico, right? I'll be dropping my match preview later, but um, what are your how do I put it? How are you guys looking at the game tomorrow, man?
Bro, it's gonna be tough. I cannot lie. You know the way Atletico they set up. Expect especially to sit back. This Atletico team they like to whip in a lot of crosses too. So we're gonna have to defend crosses and the transition. They don't really outside of Griezmann. They don't go through the center of the field. They go out wide, whipping in crosses to Sorloth. You know they have Molina. They have the other left wing back. They rotate Raquelme. They got I don't know if Lino. I forgot who's there, but their wing backs fly high. And
Yeah, well,
I think
they're really good as well.
yeah, I think I'm not gonna lie. I see them getting a couple of chances. Inaki Peñas has to. He has. I think it's a game where he has to make a save or two. I don't.
Mm.
I don't see it as a game where we're just gonna defend so well because we couldn't defend well against Dortmund against the top teams. I really doubt that. But
Yeah, I
I
hear it.
think offensively, without Yamal, it's going to be a little tough to create. I think it's going to be an ugly game, bro. It's not going to be the best game in my
No, it
opinion. I
won't
just
be
hope we
easy.
get the 3 points, to be honest.
Flip.
Yeah, to be honest, when I look at it, it won't be easy for Barcelona to be honest. Because again, they just got their center back again. No, what's his name? Robin Lenormand just came back as well. In
Oh my days. Poor.
but but I watched him play the last 2 games,
Mm.
he's on form again, bro. Like just real quick.
And
But
they've
it's a
got
must-win game.
no,
Yeah.
this is don't get it twisted. This game now has become integral to the season for both
Oh
teams,
yeah, 100%. Yeah.
right? Because at the end of the day, if Atletico beat us, they go ahead of us, and if we lose and Madrid win, they basically go clear of us because if they win their game in hand, they already go ahead of us. But it's not good enough. You understand what I'm saying, right? So listen, bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm
Yeah.
worried. I really am worried about the game tomorrow.
I'm kind of worried as well for
But
Barcelona because because their depth as well from the bench. Oh my days, bro! When they get called up, it's there as well to the counters. You know,
Bro, I don't know.
it's gonna be hell for Barcelona, man. Telling you right
I
now.
don't know what to expect, bro. Tomorrow, I really don't know what to expect because Yamal's out. I've seen some things that like Flick's gonna try something new, you know. But I think that to be honest, I think of when Xavi beat what's it called Xavi because he was doing well against Simeone. I think he was 5-0 against Simeone, and I looked at his
Yeah.
last lineup. He played like Fermin left wing. I think Flick might do something like that. He might take a book at Xavi how he beat Simeone a lot because I don't know though. It's gonna be tough. Atletico they spent money this summer. They have ambitions. As much as we're like, oh, we got to win the league. They splashed the cash. They're going to the league.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be tougher than last season to beat them because they got Sorlo, they got Alvarez, they got more guys.
Correa,
Gallagher,
Angel
that
Correa
midfield.
on the bench as well.
And
Yeah,
Alvarez has actually come back, and Alvarez has finally started playing well for them. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
And if you look at this, big up to Mohamed. So listen, bro, if Gavi is starting tomorrow, what? It wouldn't surprise me if Hansi
it's
Flick
okay.
decides to put Pedri in the 10 row and then play Olmo out wide in the
Yeah.
left. Ah, my
Nah,
days.
don't do that. Just play. At that point, why don't you just play Pedri and Casado as a double pivot? It's been working. They're the best two, and then play maybe Gavi as a 10. Just
Yeah.
maybe don't
No.
expect stuff offensively, but defensively is going to help out. Win second balls and stuff like that. I think this game, if we win, is going to be a game of moments either way, and maybe Rafinha just bails us out, something like that.
I
It's gonna
mean,
be
listen,
impressive games.
I've already said, because listen, bro, I don't trust these players, right? And the flipping crazy thing is, as bad as we've been playing, and I feel like a lot of people are looking at this game thinking, because this is the thing, our record against Atletico is actually incredible, bro. We haven't lost to Atletico at home in a very long time, bro. Like we're talking like I think when they beat us, was it which year did they beat us? They beat us in 2019, 2018? Oh, no, 2020, somewhere like that, right?
Yeah.
It had been like 10 years since the last time they beat us. And they haven't beaten us at the Camp Nou or our current stadium or at a home stadium bro, probably for what 10, 15 years. So it's been a long time since they've actually beaten us at our stadium. So look, the records are there to be broken. I hope this is the week.
Well, not tomorrow, bro.
But look, listen,
It's not the
listen.
time.
All jokes aside, I will say this, right? I don't trust these guys, but I don't know, man. Something is just telling me that these guys, unfortunately, as bad as we are, these guys, these frauds, are going to step up and actually get the win against Atletico. And if we listen, at the end of the day, at this point, I don't care how we do it, right? I hope that we go out there and get the win. Because listen, at the end of the day, big up to Thierry. He says, I can't believe we dropped all these points already. Already, bro. We've lost 4 games so far this season. 4 games, bro. I've already said, bro. Any team that wants to win the league, you don't lose more than 5 games in a season. Real Madrid last season won the league by losing 1 game. 1, right? But we're losing 5 games in a row. It is not good enough, man. And we need
This
to.
La Liga is it's a mid off, bro. Like if we're keeping it real, like all fan bases are not happy with how their teams are doing. Barca right now, Madrid's inconsistent. Atletico, they were started the season horribly. Now they're in form, but I remember Atletico fans, they didn't want to watch. I remember they didn't want to
because they
even
were
watch.
not. They didn't start the season well, but they've kind of recovered now.
No, they're one of the hottest teams in Europe right now. If you actually look at how they've been, and now they play Barcelona. Barcelona in bad form. I think they're honestly maybe a slight favorite for this game. But Barcelona,
They're not
and them having a
form-wise, I
full
guess.
squad, a full squad as well. Oh my, they're gonna be on a roll, man. Like they're not stopping now.
But guys,
Especially,
also Atletico, we're actually their bogey team. If you see like the
That's my
stats,
point.
they it doesn't make sense because Griezmann, if you've seen Griezmann's stats against Barcelona, it's horrible. It's actually horrible. It's like 0 goals and 1 assist in like 16 games. Like I don't know what happens, but when he plays Barcelona, he just doesn't step up. Since that 2015-16 Champions League,
Yeah. That's what I was
He
about to
hasn't.
get to, bro. That was probably where he peaked with Barca. Ever since then, he's never turned up against my team.
But that's the
Ever again.
only time. If you actually remember, people are going to remember that's an iconic moment for Atletico going to the UCL final. But that was the last time Griezmann played good. That's almost 10 years, bro. So I don't know why Atletico, they don't play good against us. But if they don't beat us this time,
Yeah, Simeone
they're never-
doesn't have a good. It doesn't like playing against
yeah,
us.
he's not really
Bro,
good record against Barcelona.
if Atletico doesn't beat us this time, they're never going to beat us, bro. Straight up. This is their best chance. But Flick's got to get the job done somehow. I don't know how, but he's got to get it done.
I hear it, bro. I hear it. But yeah, man, listen.
Great stack. We'll see. We'll see how they play tomorrow. But again, I want it won't be an easy game for sure. It's gonna be like an ugly win
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. But yeah, man, listen, guys. Big up to everybody who's been here, guys. We are actually going to be closing now. Big up to the people in the panels, guys. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to my guy Barca Reacts, guys. He does a lot of videos. I'm sure he's going to do a match reaction to the game tomorrow. I will be doing a watch along tomorrow. If you guys are available, you guys can join me during the watch along of Barcelona versus Atleti, because I will be doing it. But the match reaction, I will do a match reaction. Barca React will also do a match reaction. Make sure you guys go out there and send him some love as well. NJ Flip, he's always here when I'm doing this Barcelona talk shows, guys. Big up to everybody who's been here, guys. We're going to be redirecting to Football Carnage to my guy Will. I know he's a Madrid fan. He's a prick, but listen, go on and send him some love, guys. He's doing a Premier League show right now, Rival Talk with the guys over there. Make sure you guys go there, put Omar BYT Raid, and we're going to be closing out. And like I always say, before we end all of these streams, Visca El Barça, Visca El Catalonia, and peace, you guys. Big up to everybody in the chat, man.
Peace out.